right, welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews on this Mother's Day. 4 reviews up this week, the first of which is a game called WarriOrb. No, that's not a typo, that's a pun. You know, a very, very painful pun. Also the name of your character, because, well, you're a literal WarriOrb. As in, you are a summoned demon who fights things and bounces like a ball. Through this quasi Metroidvania. Like, I'm not sure if I could classify this as like a full-on proper Metroidvania. It's definitely got elements of that, but it's much more a more traditional platformer. Like, it's much more concerned with platforming and platforming challenge, and how it likes those. It's got combat as well, and okay, on the level, I was hoping to enjoy this game a lot more than I did. Like, I mean, the fundamentals are sound. Like WarriOrb controls and plays well for the most part. Not surprisingly, the ball part of the whole dynamic is the weak link. Not just because of ball physics in general and how they work in a platformer. It's not too bad to bounce, but it's like, honestly, this game didn't have a lot of that. Like,
the ball aesthetic also looks off compared to the everything else.
Yeah, there's something going on with the graphics here. I don't know what, but I mean, this game actually is an Unreal Engine game, but it may honestly be the ugliest Unreal Engine 4 game I've ever played. Like,
I mean, the backgrounds aren't terrible, and even the character thingy isn't super terrible, but the end result kind of looks like you're playing Klonoa in Castlevania.
Yeah, it doesn't really match up.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, I don't think it's definitely not a fidelity problem. It's just the art style didn't match.
Akuma Joe Iggy's Wrecking Balls.
Guess. But yeah, it's just weird. But I suppose, like, the big problem, the thing that really sunk this game for me is like the actual design of the level, and like specifically the platforming challenges. Well, first of all, this is one of those games that uses a checkpoint system, and like one of your magic spells is a instant checkpoint. It's really weird.
I think I've seen at least one other game that had that. I don't remember which one it is.
It's like not the only game I've played of recently with a dodgy save system, but that's for another time. But it's like the actual obstacles are amateurish in places. Like, there's no excuse for some of the design in this game. Like, the section that I'm thinking about, it has 2 timing challenges going on at the same time, and they don't match up. It's the main challenge is getting away from like these horizontal shots, but like midway through that, there's a bunch of vertical shots, and you have to wait. Sometimes you have to wait for those to go, but you're also dealing with these other shots, and it's a bit of a mess. Like, it doesn't work. It's like I'm not exactly sure what they were going for there, but it's like waiting upon waiting does not equal good. It's like, and it's like you can technically get like I'm just like jumping through some of these shots, but it's kind of hard. And and then after that, it just keeps on being unrelenting because you can't use a checkpoint in a danger zone. So you have to, it's one of those where you're repeating until you got the whole thing memorized. It's a lot of trial and error gameplay. which is less and less forgivable in this day and age. But the other one, the other moment that really sticks out in terms of just Bush League design was when I encountered a group of enemies and I couldn't finish the fight encounter because I couldn't jump up high enough to fight one of them. I'm not sure if I needed an item here or what, but there wasn't like any indication that I wasn't supposed to be here or I couldn't do this. But it's like it's one of those, this shouldn't have happened. Like, if I can't actually finish the fight, then you don't let me access it.
Maybe they're supposed to dive down and just whatever AI thing would make them do that didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I don't know if that was a bug, but it's like I was legit flummoxed by this. It's like, it's either like this game is buggy, with some in that case with some major bug, and it's got some design problems. And like I said, I wanted to enjoy this game. It had a unique conceit. It's just, it's less than the sum of its parts. And, that's a bit unfortunate. Because, the game, at least looking at it, had potential. As like the combat goes, it's okay. Like, it's nothing special. It's not as special as they tout. Like, there was clearly some thought behind the fight because like every weapon in the game has a distinct moveset, in as much of a moveset as this game has. It's not exactly.
They could make it so you could only fight by bouncing at things.
Yeah, like I said, that is one of the bigger problems with the game. Like, it doesn't really take advantage of the orb part of the WarriOrb. It's like really the biggest thing you're using the ball bounce for is as a jump extension, which is once again weird in its own right. But this game mostly vexes me. Let's see. The music's pretty good. Not too distinct, but mellow, light piano stuff. It's good independent of itself, I would say. And in terms of pricing, let's see. The game itself clocks in at $18, and it's got the soundtrack available for $5, and you can get the entire soundtrack and the game for $20.68. So about $21. Is that a good price for it? If this were a good game, I'd say yes, but it's honestly too subpar for me to recommend at really any. And once again, that's a bit of a shame.
It's still weird how Castlevania the like actual field looks.
Yeah. I think from you, Petty, since you've been playing the demo.
Yeah, so far the ball stuff is kind of weird. And especially when you lose all momentum when you switch out.
Yeah. I said, and I think that's really summing up the game here. Like, there were good ideas, but the execution was either flawed or just off, just weird. Like, it didn't come together.
Mm-hmm.
And, those are some of the most disappointing games when there was potential within it, but it just didn't align itself to that potential. And, yeah. Overall, once again, it's subpar. You can't recommend. And yeah, so it goes sometimes. Anyway, that'll about do it for WarriOrb here. Be sure to tune in after the break as Petty Fan will be reviewing Duck Souls Plus for the PlayStation 4.